Hey everyone, we are back. Today is day 38. Sorry about missing yesterday. I was pretty wiped out from the con and just didn't have it in me to do anything much of all. So, yeah. Anyway, 100 Days of Making Comics, and we are doing more panels here on episode 4. So just to kind of recap where we've been, I got this one really cool panel I'm really happy about all done, and then just started working on some other things, kind of bouncing around. That reaction shot's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I think I'm going to spend some time here on this this panel where Dinosaur Man is flinging poor Chet into the side of the canyon wall. So on the drawing side, we got pretty well, it's pretty well better developed. So I'll finalize a few things and drawing wise, and then get into some inking hopefully. So since I got that sketchy understructure done, it's time to go in and start putting in some of the details for the harness. And as you get more familiar with drawing the same characters over and over again, you'll find that you'll need to draw less and less of the details and go right into inking and be able to hit them pretty good. It's all about building up a familiarity with your subject matter. And it works for everything, you know, whether it's drawing a house or Spider-Man. The more you know your subject matter, the less setup work is going to have to go into it, and the more you can just lay down the lines and really hit what you're looking for. Paul, glad you could join me. Yeah, so Wizard World Cleveland was interesting. We supposedly learned a little bit more about the whole Sony deal, where they're going to get first crack at developing IPs from creators. Still don't really have any sort of definite how that's supposed to work. What's the numbers like? What's the, you know, what's Wizard getting out of it cut-wise? How's it going to affect what we would get, you know, versus another studio's offer? But it's awesome that they're at least trying something out to where we'll get the exposure that a lot of us, you know, that's why we do what we do, is we're hoping to, you know, have something hit and, you know, be able to live off of it for the rest of our lives. Not work quite so hard. We got some more snow this morning, but it's stopped right now. Good old march in like a lion. And since this is a smaller drawing of my character, I'm not focused on large amounts of detail because it'll just get kind of lost. Not liking that arm. In like a lion, out like a drunken leprechaun. Funny guy. Yeah. We'll see what the end of the month has in store for us. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this so far. So, as you can see from what we started, if you remember the warm up or the rough, and then when we worked through the drawing, figuring it out, we're starting to come to a really good conclusion here, as far as getting the right layout. So now we can work on what's going over on this side with Chet hitting this wall, and I think this is another opportunity to use the motion blur like I did with Dinosaur Man getting hit by the car. I think it's a good way of really helping us to feel that impact. So Pittsburgh takes St. Patrick's Day pretty seriously, huh? I try to avoid leaving the house late because you never know how inebriated somebody's going to be on the road. A drinking town with a football problem. That's pretty good. Gotta remember, this guy has 3 fingers, not 4. There's that other leg. Now I want to grab those knives that I've already drawn at least once, and to help with that I'm going to use the snipping tool and just copy my screen. And I'm going to use this to help me stay on model for those knives. There we go. Now I can get rid of that artifact. At least I've got, even if the perspective isn't quite perfect, I've still got a recognizable shape. And I'm keeping the same design throughout for the knives. Cool. So I really think this is enough for me to go ahead and get started inking on it. And I want to keep in mind that I'm trying to keep this flow of action from left to right because he's getting flung. So I want to make sure that that stays maintained as I keep doing each step. Sometimes when you're finishing a piece, you could accidentally flatten something out, or if you're just kind of get caught up in it, you're not paying attention to the flow of what needs to be done, then you have to go back and make some changes. So I want to minimize that as much as possible. So continuing to use the folders to divide up the panels, trying to get into a better habit of that. Let's see, now this is panel, that's all of this is 1, 2, 3, so this is 4, and that's 5. Put that in between, and we are keeping things organized. Just like when I started when I was doing the sketch, the ink lines, I want to make sure they're nice, clean, and finished because I'm not going to be going into him with lots of little tiny, like McFarlane-ish details because it's a smaller drawing. It'll just get kind of muddied. Plus, with Clip Studio, when you the cleaner you keep your lines, the easier it is to do all the fill work when you're ready to start coloring. All right. Probably going to keep the show today to 30 minutes. So I've got a lot more prep work to do for my next con, which is Lexington Comic and Toy Fest coming up. Been looking forward to this one for a long time. I've always heard really good things about it, but was never able to get a table. I'd always end up like maybe on a wait list or what have you. It's one of those shows that's been on my radar for a while. Usually what typically happens is it would be a show that I want to do. I need to book that table. And then by the time I remember it, it's already sold out for the most part. So, you get on the wait list and people don't drop out. So, you end up not being able to do the show. And I am turning 40 years old on Monday, so this show is going to be my birthday show. I think I'm going to cruise around. Maybe I'll do a Facebook Live on my personal page and do a kind of cruise around and look for something for my birthday. Supposedly this is a good show to find rare toys, so maybe I'll find a mask vehicle I've been looking for, or inhumanoid figure or something. A lot of people are going to be there. I mean, it's one of those. Here's a who's who of who's going to be at this show. You get some good guests too. The Emperor, Admiral Backbar, bunch of really cool voice actors. This is a very action figure looking pose. I love it. I don't know, maybe this isn't one of those tech-savvy shows that would do that with panels. I know if I certainly had a panel, I would try to always have it, I'd have it live streamed. Especially if it's something that you're going to be doing at other shows, you'd want to use the live stream to build up hype about it. All right. So now we can have a little bit more fun, since we're doing rock that's being destroyed. I can put in some cracks and some chips. I want to go too crazy. I'll say that for the detail layer. Okay, so we'll do a few details. And we'll do some pieces flying out. So that's exploding down this way, so I want to also explode up this way. I keep the impact going. Alright, that's pretty good with the side of the canyon there. I think I'll go ahead and do the panel borders. Let's get our box tool. A little thicker. If they do that, that'd be sweet. You know, the whole, especially with their panels or yeah, anything like that. You know, it's just kind of the way things need to go. Um, I would love to see the charity sketch get live streamed because we do so many funny drawings in there. I think that would be pretty entertaining. Okay, we got him sufficient. Now he's closer to us, so we can up the detail level on him. Put in some scratches on the clothing, stitching in the gloves, some fold lines. He's going to be back shadowed, so most of this will be in shadow with a little bit of the highlights will be around the edges more. We'll be doing something similar to what I did in the panel up above, where most of what's going on here with Dinosaur Man is going to be in the main lighting, and he'll be being thrown into shadow, so we'll get a similar contrast like we have here going on in this panel, which will help sell the scenery. So this is pretty much all my foreground elements. I'm going to go ahead and divide up the background inks as well. So put those on a new layer. And that way I can go in and colorize those lines and fade them out a little bit more. And I don't have to worry about cleaning the lines up either, because once I do the colors will cover up the fact that there's line art back here. So I'm not going to worry about being too precise. Cool. And I'm putting in detail in this layer because most of this I'll just color behind, more like the old-fashioned way of doing the flats, because it's all going to be shades of brown, and then most of my details will be in the shading portions. So we'll have that to look forward to next time. Alright, last but not least are these knives, and they're going to go above the panel layer just to keep them sorted out. So I'll go ahead and ink those, because this one's going to be breaking panel, which I love to break the plane of the panels. So there's one, and then we'll do the other. And that's going to wrap it up for us for this day. And again, I'm going to be traveling, so as long as I get my prep work done for the con, I got 4 or 5 new anime portraits that I'm trying to get done for this show. So if I get those done, I should be able to pre-record some episodes. At least have another Friday at 1 o'clock pre-recorded episode where we get some of this, hopefully get to this panel being colored. So for this series here, I'm doing each panel pretty much start to finish. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully it helps any of you guys watching to learn from it. So anyway, tomorrow my plan is going to be to start coloring this, hopefully get it all colored and broken up, finish this panel off, and Thursday start tackling this end sequence here. I think I'm going to save this panel here for last, just because I want to do it so badly, because it's my venom tongue lashing like. So that'll be a good one to end on, and then yeah, and then we'll be working on the second sequence for episode 4, where Spaz comes back into the picture to save the day, quote unquote, and continuing to develop the story. We're revving up the action, getting into a little bit more of the odds and ends of the characters. So I am grateful for the views. Please remember that I've got all of these weirdo places on the internets, things like Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, and HeyMLB, all that stuff. Eric Odds Illustrations on the Facebook thing, which I think used to be called MySpace. Is that even the thing still? It probably still exists. Anyway, so please pass those around. Make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications if not. And I'm seeing small growth both here and on the webtoons, so please head over to webtoons if you're not subscribed to the Dinosaur Man comic. Just sign up for a free account, search Dinosaur Man, it'll come right up, and subscribe and read. Episode 3 is doing pretty good. We got more subscribers, and analytics are still always ticking upward. Hoping for one day getting into that 1,000 views, 1,000 subscribers territory. But baby steps so far, and I thank you guys very much for joining me, and I appreciate it very much that you take time to watch me draw. Anyway, until tomorrow, have a blessed evening, and we'll see you then.